Yeah, but I can't read.
Even numbers? That's
I've got
crazy.
dyscalculia.
What's that?
It's like dyslexia, but for numbers.
Wouldn't dyslexia affect numbers as well?
No, believe it or not. Dyscalculia is a specifically numbers only form of dyslexia. The best part is now people can see the anguish.
Yeah.
That's the best part to me.
So this one goes out to all my dyscalculated brothers and sisters.
And others.
I'm related to all of them. So they're all brothers and sisters.
And others. What about just siblings?
What did I just say?
You can have siblings that are neither sisters nor brothers. You can have gender neutral.
2 minutes in and I'm already fucking up. Apologies to the theys.
I forgive you.
Are you he, they?
I am anything.
So I'm okay calling you he.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
It'd be rough to bust it out now. A year deep,
Actually.
4 years into the friendship. You've been fucking me over for a while now, brother. Oh my God.
It's happening.
It is happening.
We joked about it and now it's here. The Crap Bracket.
It's a great name for it.
It's kind of sing-songy. It's got that alliteration without being, like a dumb fucking superhero name like Clark Kent.
Clark Kent's not a dumb name.
Kind of is.
No, it's not. Clark Kent, awesome.
No. Clark Kent, awesome.
He's awesome.
Clark Kent, awesome.
Clark Kent's awesome. There's plenty of dumb superhero names. Clark Kent is the one. Wally West sucks.
All right, fine. J. Jonah Jameson.
That's also
no.
good.
That's also kind of fucking cool.
Yeah.
Peter Parker.
Also fine.
No, I'm not a fan of Peter Parker.
You're not?
No.
You're like, I'm going to make a stand about comic books. Let me go after Peter Parker and Clark Kent.
Yeah.
There's so much more to complain about. Like the people who read them.
My favorite superhero's name is Scott Free, so.
Yeah, that's bad too.
It is. But it's not alliterative.
No, it's worse. It's a pun. You keep looking at that board. You feel like you're proud of it.
I don't want to be here.
You put this together.
I did put this together.
I don't remember whose idea this was. It might have been mine, but you really took the ball and ran with it on this one.
Yeah, I like this idea. I like the setup of it. I don't know if I like how the randomizer kind of picked these up, but
you could have cheated.
I could have, but I didn't.
So I guess we're here. We're not gonna vamp a ton.
No.
Vamp me some more.
That'd be really funny if the other bit doesn't make it in.
It won't, because I was off mic. I was over there.
I was pointing it towards you, seeing if it could pick up. Yeah.
30 feet away.
Oh man.
Welcome to the first ever, possibly on camera, depending on how this setup works, episode of KAFM.
It'd be really funny if this whole thing goes through and it's just the audio. We keep doing like visual gags now that we're on camera. Like I'd do something like that.
You do that already.
Yeah.
When it's audio, and then you go, here's what I'm doing for all you eagle-eye-eared listeners.
Yeah, but now I'm not going to be doing that because we're on camera.
Okay. So if anything, it'll be our best episode yet because you'll shut the fuck up.
It'll be our best episode yet because everybody knows bigger is better, bigger number equal better episode. And we're going to be talking about a lot of fucking movies today.
Yes. This came from the fact that we watched a lot of garbage in 2024.
More garbage than I realized, but we watched different garbage, so we had to watch even more garbage to make sure garbage lined up.
And you were the star here because I only had to watch 2 movies to catch up.
I had to watch 6.
That's terrible. And I was saying don't even watch them. Don't even watch them. I don't care.
I did. I wanted to make
Why?
I wanted to make sure that I had a very competent conversation when talking about elevation.
And like, I'll tell you, I might be lying later in this episode. I watched them all, but as far as do I remember them all? Now that's the puzzle piece.
There was one you were telling me about where you forgot it was playing. You went up to do something else, and the movie was still playing.
I remembered where I was. I went back. We'll get to that too. Whenever he or she or them pop up in this fucking bracket. All right. So normally we choose 2 movies for some reason and talk about them.
Mhm.
This time we went through. Did we say what the name of this segment is before I started explaining it?
I called it Crap Bracket, but that's all of them.
Yeah. Put that down here.
Where's my
I don't know.
marker?
That might be the best way I've ever seen the word crap written down.
It's incredible crap.
I know.
Thank you for complimenting my crap on camera.
We've got a fantastic crap lined up here for an okay bracket.
Yeah, no, it kind of fell apart at the end. Look at that K. Look at that fucking K, dude.
That's terrible.
Yeah, no, I'm killing myself when I get home.
So, on this first episode of Maybe It'll Happen Again Crap Bracket in a year from now, we've taken 24 of the lowest reviewed or most hated movies personally.
And then we also looked at some general consensus.
Yes. So we got a healthy mix of things I hated, things you hated, and things was that for general consensus?
Yeah, I'm saluting general consensus.
It's universally liked. But I hated, you hated, and then like people hated. Reviews, IMDb, Letterboxd, the general, what is it? Rotten Tomatoes?
Rotten Tomatoes.
I know what Rotten Tomatoes is. I forgot the word of it there.
Metacritic.
Metacritic. They do movies on Metacritic?
Sometimes.
What is something like if it's a Final Fantasy movie?
You know, that might be where
There's not Final Fantasy on here, unless I forgot to watch one.
There a
video game movie on here?
There's one.
Oh, there is one.
There is one.
At least. Unless they've made a secret trap video game I'm not aware of.
I would play that.
So, Crap Bracket, we are going to go through head to head. We took those 24 movies we selected.
24 for 24. Will next year be 25 for 25?
Maybe.
We'll see.
If we get there.
That'll fuck up the denomination even more. God damn it.
But we took, and we randomized them, right? You just put them in a randomizer to make a bracket. And we will go through and we will decide on a race to the bottom what is the worst thing we saw this year.
It's going to be.
And then we'll also probably figure out why no one's going to movies anymore. Looking at a couple of these names next to me, what the fuck?
Well, some of these were streaming exclusive. Some of these were straight to streamers.
Oh boy.
Most
of them aren't over here.
I'm specifically looking over at like Uglies. You telling me Uglies wasn't going to make it to theaters?
I'm telling you that everything except Uglies on this side of the wall, I saw in a theater. And we'll see what about over there. Oh no, there's one I didn't. There's one other one I didn't.
Yeah, no, you're right. A lot of these I also saw in theaters.
Regal Unlimited is a blessing and a curse because the movie is free and my time is gone.
You got me. 2025.
It's awesome.
Start off the year the snake right. You've tricked me into getting Regal Unlimited.
I should have stock in the fucking company. I've been selling to everyone. I'm not even saying Regal. If you can, I don't know. AMC does the same shit.
Yeah.
I think Cinemark does a really ass version of it. I think you get one free movie a month.
That's lame.
I think they have really cheap tickets, though. They make up for it in something else.
I couldn't tell you because the only Cinemark I can think of, I go to the Regal. That's like a 5-minute drive past it.
I don't even know where one is.
The mall in Olympia. And instead I
Home of the 12-mile-per-hour street.
Yeah.
And also the state capital.
But instead of going to the Cinemark, I go to the Regal in Olympia.
That's terrible.
Hell yeah. All right.
So let's start over there.
Cool. So we're starting with.
Is that bracket? Would this be bracket A?
Yeah, so this is A because there's no way to do this without ending up with a 3-way, so that's how we're ending it.
It's a triple threat finale.
Yeah. All right, so we're starting off strong, in my opinion, with Crow and Beekeeper, or as I've written here.
Oh,
Beeper.
shit.
Crow and Beeper.
2 favorites against each other out the gate?
2? I think this is fucking easy. Beekeeper's got the sauce and the honey, and Crow had me bored to tears until like the fucking 5-yard line.
That's the thing. Crow, everyone but me and my brother hated this movie.
I appreciate what it tried to do. I just feel like the original did it in a much more concise and stylistic way.
I agree. But when it came out, it was like right after Borderlands.
Ooh. Oh,
and
yeah.
it got lower on Rotten Tomatoes, and everyone's like, "It's worse." It's not worse.
It's not worse.
It's serviceable.
We'll get to that. Oh, I didn't bring the sliders.
It's serviceable at worst, and I actually enjoyed it. I watched it twice in theaters.
Okay.
Once with my brother because we saw the original Crow re-release this year,
Mhm.
and then we saw this
Last year.
Whatever.
It's 2025 now, dude.
Should we put 2024 on this? So I don't remember. How much are we going to keep adding to this board?
Remember, you are the youngest you will ever be right now.
So you're just voting Beekeeper immediately.
Immediately Bieber. And it could be recency bias because I missed this when it came out.
Yeah.
And this was one of the few that I watched to catch up with the crap that you saw. And I was texting you, like I was texting you as shit was happening. I was like, there's Jeremy Irons in this movie doing a fun cowboy voice.
Yeah.
Josh Hutcherson's in here as a tech bro.
Yeah. No, I actually thought it was fun in theaters.
I would love to have seen this movie in theaters. I'm pissed I missed this in theaters. I'm excited.
It reviewed mid to poorly.
Yeah, because I think in the aftermath of what John Wick has done for these sort of like solo lone wolf action movies, they've raised the bar in such a way where Jason Statham can no longer just look sick and punch nerds, which is all he did in this movie.
So I have a quick question. I just realized, does that mean Crow advances?
Yeah, if we're talking about, because this is crap bracket race to the bottom, we're talking about the worst movies.
Right. I was thinking these were which one I like more.
That one might be later. Yeah, no. Okay, so if we're talking about the worst absolute dog shit,
yeah,
Crow.
Then Crow, when my girlfriend went to it, she stopped watching it 12 minutes in. She was
Like,
so pissed.
Like she just got up and left?
No, she was just like on her phone. We were the only people in the theater,
Okay.
and I had already seen it. So, but that means Crow wins easy. Just because Beeper, I was kind of chilling with.
So wait, whose idea was it to go see it then? Was it like you saying we got to go see this movie because you saw it and liked it?
It was her because I saw it with my brother, and because we wanted to, and she really liked the trailers, and she was like, "Oh, we got to see it." And I was like, "Well, I'll see it twice. I get my tickets free."
If she was tricked by the trailers, I think she'll like Companion.
There's a second trailer out for Companion that makes the whole movie look different. Do you know it's about robots?
No. I wasn't intrigued by the first. We've talked about this. You liked the trailer for Companion?
I liked the first trailer. I didn't like the second one. The second one revealed it was about robots.
Oh, well then.
And it's like a comedy. There's like comedic gay character. Like the gay sidekicks are like in the trailer.
Now that I know that it's about robots, that kind of takes away like the whole fucking mystery. Like, because in the first trailer, she like sets her arms on fire.
Yeah.
And shit, like.
And I was like, what's going to happen? No, and it doesn't look like it's a mystery in the movie. Like she finds out she's a robot. The movie's about robots.
I mean, I guess that interests me more.
It doesn't me. I was way more interested about Jack Quaid kidnapping a woman.
I'm more interested in fucking robots. Which one of us is going to go to jail first for our sex crimes?
Well, my sex crime of hanging with Jack Quaid?
As he
I don't know
kidnaps
who's in his
women.
basement. I'm not checking out his house when I get there, Your Honor. What the fuck? Am I on trial? He kidnapped her.
Why do you think you're on trial? Why is that what you're jump to?
All right, anyway, Crow beats Beeper.
I'm sorry, Beeper.
As bad.
So yeah, Crow bad.
All right. The second matchup in A block.
Werewolves and Joker Folia Doe.
It's already we're at Joker 2?
Yeah.
And Werewolves. Joker 2, the biggest flop of the year as far as like I don't know if it definitely didn't make the least money, but
in terms of profile to collapse
and people's hype for it.
Yeah.
I never liked Joker 1. I thought it was it's a pretty movie. It looks well shot and the colors I like.
What I appreciate about Joker 2 is the same thing I appreciated about Joker 1. If people look like they're having fun making a movie, like Joaquin Phoenix looked like
No, he didn't.
when he was Joker, yeah, he was having a ball.
Everyone looked miserable. The whole movie is just people wet in the shit water, just getting stomped to death. What the fuck are you talking about?
Maybe I'm only thinking of Joker 2 now.
Yeah, no one's having fun at Joker 1.
I immediately, when I said he's having fun, I immediately flashbacked to the scene where he's entering out his fridge and crawling in the fridge.
Yeah, or the scene in Joker 2 where they take him to the showers and have their way with him.
We don't know that.
We do. Are you a they didn't rape him guy?
No, they definitely raped
Because he
him.
makes a joke about it and they tear his clothes off. And then they take their hat off. Like, it's so obvious.
Yeah.
I will say this, it is in the vein of Gremlins 2 of I don't really want to make this movie, but so I'm going to do whatever I want. It is fucking hilarious to write a movie where they just Joker 1 is like I'm going to get revenge and Joker 2 is just getting raped and murdered in prison. There's no story even. He's just singing songs that are unrelated. That's what Todd Phillips, he's like, it's not like a regular musical. That's what the director said.
Yeah.
And he meant that because I think regular musicals justify their songs rather than just go, anyway, and then a musical starts.
He did say that the story could not be told without its music, though, which I think is code for padding out runtime.
It is. You could cut every music. I might do that. I might screen record this, cut every musical segment, and it'll be exactly the same story.
I like the music. I will say that. I do like the music in the because it's fucking Lady Gaga, a successful, like, award-winning singer.
I liked the music more than the story because more was happening.
Yeah.
Like on screen, and maybe that's just but I'm like, holy shit, he's in. And I don't like Joker 1 and then Joker 2. This was the movie that I forgot I was watching. I was 40 minutes in. I stood up to do something, forgot to pause it, I guess, and didn't remember until 2 hours later. I was like, holy shit, I was watching a movie.
I like this movie. There was a similar movie I was trying to remember liking for the same reason, where the core fan base, and I mentioned it in my Letterboxd review, where like the core fan base for Joker 1 was really mad about Joker 2 because their hero is singing and dancing in prison and then gets stabbed. Like, you
That's
good?
not all that happens. Like, that's the thing. If he got stabbed, they would be able to take this movie at least as like a martyr's death.
Oh my god.
But
Don't give him that.
well, that's what I'm saying. So like him getting killed and sexually assaulted, I don't know. It's impossible for them to enjoy. And there is an odd beauty in making a movie for no one. Like making $1 billion and then making a movie for not one person.
I will say I enjoyed Joker 2.
That's crazy.
I think I would watch it again in the same way where, like, if somebody has never seen it before, yeah, I would sit down with them if they wanted to watch, like, hey, I haven't seen Joker 2. Sure, put
I'd
it
say
on.
save your 2.5 hours.
It's like, I definitely think if you liked Joker 1, don't watch this. If you didn't like Joker 1, watch it.
I didn't like either of them.
I'm sorry.
What does that make me? Well adjusted?
Poor.
What? Werewolf stars Frank Grillo.
Frank Grillion werewolves in your area. Holy shit. So I think this is a great pair up actually because it's no expectation, high expectation, and I think they both meet somewhere in the middle.
I'd watch Werewolves before I watch Joker 2 again.
Okay.
So I think Joker 2 is worse.
But I would watch Joker 2 before I watch Werewolves again.
Really? Okay. But as far as worst of the year,
Worst of the year?
Werewolves failed to meet its box office expectations of $3.
Werewolves failed.
Joker 2 failed to meet its box office expectations of January 6th, 2. I think you just got to put Joker ahead just because it was like the.
It's a more monumental faceplant for sure. Yeah, because I think werewolves. Not talking a whole lot about it, but yeah, werewolves was yeah, no expectation, but I had fun. Like there was fun moments. I think the practical effects every now and then looked good.
They put people in real werewolf suits and ran them at each other.
Yeah.
There's a werewolf wearing a bulletproof vest that says werewolf killer and a USA face paint. And he ends up
Yeah.
being the villain for no reason.
Yeah.
Frank Grillo has to turn into a werewolf to stop him.
Sorry, Joker too.
Yes, but J too, right? Jock.
Junk 2.
Why not on the outside here?
Junk 2.
See
It's already there.
Oh, that's true. All right, what's the next?
Deadpool and Wolverine and Argyle.
No, I don't want to put words in your mouth, but I think you liked both of these.
I did.
And I didn't.
No, you did not. So here's the thing. I think Deadpool is fluff and nonsense for babies, but I went to see it with two different groups of people, as we've talked about. People that know film, people that I went to school with for film. And I was the only person that didn't have a miserable fucking time.
Mhm.
And then I went to see it with friends from high school who just wanted to see the movie because, like, a friend of mine loves Wolverine. He wanted to see Wolverine with the claws out in the yellow suit. And when that happened, he was like, hell yeah. I see my friend having a good time in the movies. I'm having a good time at the movies.
Okay.
And then Argyle is apparently in the same universe as the Kingsman movie, and that made me very mad.
I mean, I'll say this, and maybe it's because I saw it more recently, but if a man kicked down the door and said, recite both of these movies' events, I could do it for Deadpool. I couldn't do it for Argyle.
Argyle, I think I described it in the episode we did, which is like
Oh my God, we did an
episode
episode
3.
about
Yeah, it's
it.
like episode 2 or 3.
I didn't even remember that.
Yeah, we did an episode on Argyle. I think I described it as a movie of no foreplay. It will introduce a new problem, concept, or idea and immediately resolve it in the same scene.
Yeah,
It is just no foreplay, all climax. And after a while, you get sore. You get bored.
I hated. I Argyle was just like boring me. By my memory, I don't even Deadpool. I don't care.
I think the person that you went to see Argyle with
Was my dad.
Yeah, he turned to you and was like, "This isn't very good," or a whole lot of this going on.
No, he said this movie is like Legos. You could put any scene in any order.
That was it.
Which is true.
Yeah, no. If we're talking about worst movie, I genuinely think Argyle's worse than Deadpool. I don't think Deadpool has a whole lot going on for it. Deadpool had Blade, but like when that's the bar of it reminded me of a better movie.
They both looked like shit. What I remember the fucking ice skating scene in Argyle now that I'm thinking about it.
Oh fuck yeah. God damn it.
I remember everything else in Deadpool.
No, that scene in Argyle looked like dog shit.
I'll say Argyle's worse just because the crowd loved Deadpool.
I think the one thing I do think Argyle had better casting, but when you have good pieces and when you use your good Legos to still build a poop.
Well, I was watching Argyle now. The more I think about it, I kept waiting for Argyle to get really fun.
I was waiting for Henry Cavill and John Cena to kiss.
I forgot Cena's in there. Rockwell's in there. He's fun.
Yeah.
But yeah, we'll put Argyle up.
The casting is great in that movie.
I don't have enough of an opinion on those ones to fight you on that one. What's below that?
Homestead and Godzilla Kong 2.
Oh,
what if Godzilla showed up in Homestead?
Homestead is worse.
Homestead is worse.
Godzilla 2, Godzilla Kong and Godzilla Kong 2 are movies I will never see again, almost definitely.
Mm-hmm.
They are completely empty. They are about nothing, but they're not bad. They are purely the moment the image hits you, you get dopamine, and then it's gone.
Godzilla Kong 2 gave him a giant robot fist and a fake tooth. That was my big issue with. So we haven't talked about either of these movies on the
Yeah,
podcast.
because you watched Godzilla to catch up, right?
Yeah.
I saw that in theaters on the final day it was in theaters.
Godzilla Kong 2 starts with King Kong like attacking some like smaller creatures, and then he's like rotating his shoulder like, oh, my arm hurt, oh, my tooth hurt, and then he crawls to the surface of Earth and he's laying on the beach like, oh, my tooth hurt, and they're like, he's old, he's got a decaying tooth. It's like this, like the first 30 minutes of the movie are just showing you King Kong's fucking old. And I'm like, this isn't very fun. And then Godzilla starts killing things.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, Godzilla's still cool.
Godzilla rips.
Then King Kong adopts a baby and frees some lava slaves.
I
Uses a baby as a shield. No, he uses a baby as a club.
The scene where he whips that baby around is one of the best scenes I've seen all year. I forgot about that. Godzilla, no way. Homestead is an Angel Studios piece of shit that we're now kind of tied into watching more of those, aren't we?
There's another Angel Studio movie later down it's right there at the bottom. We'll get to it.
Yeah.
So yeah, Homestead was, I remember clocking it like half an hour, 45 minutes into the movie where I said, this looks like a really bad TV budget. And then the end of the movie said, you can now watch the Homestead TV show, picking up right where the movie left off.
And by picking up, they mean we just faded out about 2 hours in. We didn't wrap shit up.
No.
There's a bitch that could tell the future that they never mention. She's drawing mushroom clouds before bombs blow off. And they're like, whatever. Get the kid over to the house.
The house? Yeah, it's a bunch of people trying to get to not Neil McDonough?
Yeah.
Yeah, everybody's trying to get to Neil McDonough's house because he's a prepper, and it's like, oh, the bombs are finally dropping.
It's just it's the
your good guy says shoot the cops.
It's the anarcho-Christian's dream of like I'm not even joking. I saw one of the few positive reviews for this was just liberals laugh, but they'll need us when this happens in real life. Like, it's just a straw man for the most annoying dudes at the gym.
Yeah. It wasn't very good, so it gets to move on.
It does.
I laughed at Godzilla. I cared for, I can't remember the character's name.
Dan Stevens? The actor?
I can't even think.
Mothra shows up in Godzilla Kong too.
Mothra does show up.
I was fucking awesome.
I was like, I remember thinking like, oh, but Mothra is like, what is this is such like this is a much more high octane, you know, big issue with Godzilla Kong. There's no weight in the monsters.
No,
they're throwing those monkeys around.
That's what I've always said. Godzilla Kong and Godzilla Kong 2 got rid of all the weight that are in Godzilla 2014 and King of Monsters from Legendary.
Mm-hmm.
They have all this heavy weight behind them.
They don't have that. They're whipping those monkeys around.
Yeah, sucks.
I didn't like the 0G moment where the monkeys are kind of floating around at the core of the Earth.
It's the Hollow Earth thing is so weird. It's all over Legendary.
Yeah.
Like, the only thing it's not in is Godzilla 2014.
Did Legendary do the Journey to the Center of the Earth movies?
I don't know. That's an interesting theory you're putting together.
With
like there's some burned executive who's like, my center of the earth universe will get made. Starting off hot. Tarot versus Borderlands in bracket B. Now it's easy to know which one sucks more.
Yeah, 100%.
Tarot.
You can't be real.
I wasn't, and then the second I said it, I was like, "Why does that sound right?"
Tarot's worse than Borderlands.
Tarot has fucking nothing.
Tarot's got the fool doing a funny little dance, freaking out, battle on.
Borderlands has the fool as well.
It was
Blanchett, I think.
No, I was saying it was me in the seat.
It's true.
So I saw this movie twice in a row.
Mm-hmm. I saw it 3 times.
You saw Borderlands 3 times.
Another movie. My girlfriend's like, "Oh, we didn't see it together. Can we see it?" And then she was pissed we saw it immediately on her phone, and I'm like, "Yeah, nuh-uh." This is ridiculous.
You wanted to watch it.
Oh God, I hate you. I hate you.
Not as a lifelong fan of the Borderlands franchise.
Mm-hmm.
I think this was insulting not just to lifelong fans, but also to newcomers.
This was your Joker too.
This was my Joker too, because like
I felt like getting ripped in
they rewrote all of the characters and story beats in such an insane and nonsensical way to where people who even had played any of the games, any of the good games, they would be mad because that's not right, that's not right. And I don't think shit like that should be sacred. If you're gonna be making a movie if you're gonna be making a 2 hour long movie based on a 30-hour long game, of course you can't fucking keep everything in. That shit should not be sacred.
It should just be good.
It should just be good. Whatever you're changing should be in service of anything. But instead, what we got was shit from a butt that was confusing for everybody involved. And Kate Blanchett was like, I needed to make this movie because I was pissed from COVID. I was so angry. I had to make an angry movie. She looks tired. She didn't look angry.
God help us if Kate Blanchett was alive during polio. If COVID pissed her off, who knows what kind of garbage we would have seen after that.
Who knows what plays she would have been in after the Black Plague.
I know.
But no, Taro, I think, had very fun moments.
Name them.
The dude who just randomly got hit by a train, like that came out of nowhere.
I don't even remember that. Are you thinking of The Crow?
No, second kill of the movie. There's a dude following him around this abandoned subway. And
oh yeah.
And he's like, no, please don't. He steps out onto a track and he just
You're right. Never mind.
And then the fool doing his little dance. I really liked that. And Jacob Batalon showing up at the end like, oh no, I didn't die. The fool is just fucking with me.
It is funny to have a creature that's just like, we will all kill you except him. And
I think the kills genuinely ratcheted up in terms of tension and horror, because at first it's like, oh, it's a scary demon in an attic, and then it's all being followed around an abandoned thing. You know, it's like little drops here and there, and by the end it's, oh, the devil's dragging me to hell. Like,
you remember this movie really well.
Yeah, I legitimately really liked Taro.
Well, I put Borderlands as the winner because
it's bad.
Because it's dog shit.
I also remember a lot from Borderlands, and I remember we were talking about picking and choosing, trying to figure out which scenes were reshoots.
Can a whole movie be one reshoot?
That's a different movie. That's a different movie we'll get to. What's next?
A Boy Kills World versus Megalopolis.
Boy Kills World is worse.
Yeah, Megalopolis would never get far on this list because I love it.
I loved my experience watching it with you alone in the theater. Boy Kills World, I watched alone in a theater, and I was like white knuckling the seat the whole time. I was so fucking mad. Is there a single? Is Bill Skarsgård 0 for 2 for me in this bracket? Because I didn't care for that, and I didn't care for that.
What'd you think of Nosferatu?
I love Nosferatu.
Because that didn't make this list.
No, because Nosferatu was good.
What'd you think of Bill Skarsgård in that?
Bill Skarsgård in that, I thought the voice was great because that's about all there is going on for the character.
What about his mustache?
I love the mustache. When I saw that, I'm like, oh yeah, he Wallachian. Wallachia is where like modern day Transylvania is, and in the mythos of Dracula, that's like the country he would have been from is Wallachia.
He's Romanian in that one.
He's Romanian?
They go to a Romanian church with the nuns.
Well, guess what? Romania also didn't exist when Dracula would have, so. He's from Wallachia.
What did you think of the gypsies? They were, and I knew you were going to have a ball. I did. I was so excited.
I thought of you when I saw them.
You should.
I thought of you. I was going to text you in the theater, but I decided not
to. Those are my people.
I thought the Russian Orthodox Church was your people.
The Romanian Orthodox Church is very close. That's where they take when they're
when they cure him from the devil.
Cure him from Orlok penis. That's an interesting choice to include it.
Yeah,
but it made sense with the necrophiliac angle of the movie.
Yeah, no, I think I definitely don't think it took away from it, but if it wasn't there, I wouldn't have noticed.
If you make a movie about banging corpses, you got to show me one old penis.
One decrepit penis.
Boy Kills World we talked about an episode.
Yeah, we did an episode. It wanted to end like 4 different times, and they ruined all of the cool characters by giving them dumb lines to say. Every single line in the movie made the movie worse. Every single person that delivered a line in the movie made me want to strangle them. H. John Benjamin did not deserve this.
And I thought it was whatever, but if you tried to make me watch it again, I'd jump through a window. So
This felt like it wanted to be the Borderlands movie.
yeah, was Boy Kills World a better Borderlands movie than Borderlands? I guess we'll find out because they're in the semifinals.
I'm excited.
Megalopolis rules.
Megalopolis fucking rules.
Next on this bracket,
Uglies?
and Terrifier 3.
Did you watch Uglies?
I did. I watched Uglies yesterday.
I'm so sorry.
The two I had to watch for this were Joker 2 and Uglies. And I watched it and I was like, why the fuck?
Because it's bad.
It's bad, but it's
point.
it's the worst kind of bad. It's the kind of bad that's for a 12-year-old girl.
It's young adult fiction. So for people who don't know what Uglies is, I think it was like 4 books, and it's based on 4 books. And my partner loved those books when she was a child.
Yeah.
And so it was me, her, and her mother watching this in their living room. And the whole time I'm making fun of the movie. I am Muppets, Waldorf, and Statler heckling, cracking jokes. And my partner agreed it was bad, but she was just like, I just want to see how they adapted it. I want to see what they changed. Uh-huh.
I don't get the world.
No, those children should be dead. So,
well, just so the world is 0 to 15, you're ugly. At 16, we turn you pretty and you live in Party City.
Yeah.
But there's no downside.
No.
I was waiting for the reveal where it was like, my honest thought was,
you think being pretty is all that matters? You're not a free thinker. Free thinkers, it's like
I thought it would be when you turn 16, like they take 10 kids, right, who all turn 16, and like 80% of them get juiced so that two of them can, like 8 kids get turned into slurry, and then that gunk is used to make the other 2 pretty.
You think it was going to be like a stance on stem cells or something?
Not a stance, just like a trade-off. Like we can be beautiful if 20% of the world, like eugenics type thing. So that's why you like let everyone be themselves and let everyone thrive, rather than, because there's also this weird eco shit at the beginning where they're like, the planet's dead. So I thought it would be like the rich people are like, listen, we gotta curb the population to keep what little resources we have. And an easy way to do that is also I get to be beautiful, and all it takes is just this baby juice.
No, instead, literally all we get is pretty city full of people partying, doing drugs, having sex 24/7, and then uggo children on the outskirts.
And it's like, but here we can skateboard. Okay, fucking skateboard in Magic World, dude. You think they're not skateboarding over in the fucking explosion tower? Like, are you kidding me?
Fireworks all the time. Every day looks like New Year's.
They have fucking superpowers over there.
And what do you have? Free will?
We have a whole solar powered helicopter.
There's a whole thing where it's implied that people are being brainwashed because like her friend that is like a few months older than her like doesn't really recognize her. It's like, what do you like? Things changed when I got to Pretty City. I'm pretty now.
Yeah, it brainwashed, and it's called pretty privilege. It's awesome.
You wouldn't know. No, I don't think that. No, I don't think Uglies is very good, and I'm so glad we were able to share in this horrid.
But I don't even have anything to say on it other than like we got to get better shit for 12-year-old girls.
Yeah, no. Ever since Harry Potter ended, like the last couple Harry Potter movies had this certain kind of color correction done to it that every YA adaptation has had since then.
Oh, really?
Yeah, if you notice this sort of like it's cold, but there's always pops of red for like a kind of violence angle or like passion or romance. Like the last couple Harry Potter movies did that every now and then. Like there's a point where like Harry's wearing a red shirt or like his magic is red and then Voldemort's is green. But like Hunger Games did it. those four. Um, I think it was called Divergent, Insurgent, Maze Runner. They started adapting
I
a
didn't watch any of these.
I watched The Hunger Games. I liked The Hunger Games, but everything else, like, they keep adapting this YA fiction and they keep giving all of these films the same look because once upon a time these movies did well, looked like this. Just please give me a color cuz Uglies looks exactly the same.
Speaking of pops of red, Terrifier 3.
Terrifier 3,
Someone loves these movies, and they all make money.
someone loves
I hate them.
gore porn. I think I told you this. I was talking about seeing this movie with my mom, and I had to describe what gore porn was to my mother.
Mm-hmm. She didn't get it?
Well, I described it, and she was like, "Gore what?"
Oh, good.
And I had to be like, it fetishizes,
It's just about how gross can we make it.
Yeah.
The difference is Uglies is worse.
Which one of these would you watch again?
Terrifier 3.
Really, I would rather watch Uglies first, but that's because I'm not a gore person.
I'm not I don't like Terrifier 3 at all, but Terrifier 3 is clearly made by a team really trying to make a thing, and it has an audience. Uglies is cynical Netflix cash grab for just lowest common denominator. Like, Terrifier 3 is not lowest common denominator. It might be base and like just for people who just want to see the most violence possible, but you can't tell me they were trying to get a wide appeal with Terrifier 3.
My issue is that I agree that Uglies might be more cynical and brain dead slop garbage, but from a pure gut reflex stance, Terrifier 3 made me just uncomfortable because, like, I hate gore and I'm not a huge fan of horror, but like Winnie the Pooh, Blood and Honey, like that, like I could watch that again. I genuinely don't think I could watch Terrifier 3 again. There are moments in that movie I had to like look away.
But doesn't that make Terrifier 3 better?
Does it?
It's giving you a legitimate reaction.
Yeah, but that reaction makes me want to actually die.
Right, but that's emotion.
I don't want to die when I watch Ugly 3. Or Uglies. Uglies.
There better not be an Uglies 3. I can't watch Uglies ever again. Like, Uglies is also really cynical because isn't it hilarious that she gets to keep her morals, but she also gets to be beautiful at the end?
Yeah, no,
there's no choice.
There's no. I will agree. Uglies can continue if it means I don't have to talk about Terrifier 3 anymore. Because I fucking hated that movie. And the thing is, it's not even like
I'll go.
Terrifier 1, which we saw in theaters as well.
I didn't. I wasn't there for that.
Oh, you weren't there for that? It's okay. I wasn't there for Terrifier 2, so.
I wasn't either.
You weren't there for. I thought.
I watched that in a room.
Alone?
Basically.
Oh,
everyone else was asleep. And I was watching Terrifier 2. It's like, holy shit.
I'm imagining like a 12-year-old slumber party. A parent comes downstairs to check, and it's like one kid still awake, like in a sleeping bag, sitting straight up watching.
And it's me, full grown.
Watching.
I don't have a DVD player.
What are you doing in my house? Sure ask a lot of questions for somebody with a Terrifier range.
I'm gonna Terrifier you if you don't let me finish this movie.
You'll wake the kids. All right, what the fuck's next?
Okay, so I'll go moves on.
I'll go move it on.
Next up is Elevation versus Craven.
Elevation's worse.
I saw someone say Elevation is at least as good as A Quiet Place. I haven't seen A Quiet Place, so that's either Quiet Place sucks or they don't know what they're talking about. Elevation is half a movie.
Elevation is half a movie. They decided we're not going to wrap any of this up. Roll credits.
Elevation is a movie about how there's aliens on Earth. Or not alien, but like there's these creatures that dug up from underground.
Monsters showed up, so we have to go high in the sky.
And they cannot get above 14,000 feet. And so the only places that are safe are like Colorado, cabins up mountains, where you're above. And it's a hard 14,000. Like there is a line on the ground, and the movie makes a point. And they never explain why you can't go above 14,000 feet. They never explain the core concept of the movie.
But they did explain that the monsters are actually robots, which actually doesn't explain
From aliens.
shit.
From aliens.
Robots from Aliens.
There's an after credit stinger
Oh, damn it! I missed the after credits
where
stinger.
they look up at a telescope and you see a comet coming in. Which I only saw because I was talking to someone, and then the credits were still going, and then I was like, "Holy shit!"
I think in my letterbox review, I said that the sting at the end of Elevation, like the music sting at the end, should have been Linkin Park, and with the meteor coming down, it should have been Linkin. That's just
Yeah.
the end of Transformers 2027.
Kraven the Hunter is also
2007.
the first act of a movie, but it's the first act of 3 or 4 movies.
Yeah, no, it ends with like a really big setup of like he is finally himself. He is Craven the Hunter, and it's
But also, like, you could tell the movie keeps restarting with reshoots. Like the whole prison sequence where he kills that guy,
yeah.
and then it goes and it's like another setup with the rhino, and then it's like his flashback, and you're like, all of these are filmed separately.
I enjoyed it though.
I didn't.
I will say so. The thing I will give Elevation, if Elevation pulled a Homestead and they said you can now watch the show that explains what the fuck is going on, I would watch it.
Would you?
Yeah, I would. I would be. I'm interested enough. It's not getting a sequel. There's not going to be an Elevation 2.
No.
But if Elevation was like, hey, we got a season of a show, if only if they got like the cast back, if they got like Anthony Mackie back, but
Elevation felt like a movie that was filmed before Anthony Mackie was a bigger name and then was released post.
yes,
But it's not, and I looked it up. It was filmed in like 2022, and just late 2022 goes through about a year of post and whatever needs to come out in 2024, whenever the schedule was. Which was shocking to me too, because they don't let him have any sauce, and he's a charming dude. He could throw a catchphrase in there or whatever, like he would do in Captain America and stuff. And they don't let him do any of that. He's dead serious.
Did you hear about him on the set of Captain America, like his first intro, like how low he was on the call sheet?
No,
He was like number 14 on the call sheet, and he would make it everybody's business. Whenever he would enter a room, he'd be like, "Hey, 14 on set.
that's really funny.
Look out, 14."
See, that's a charming thing to do.
14 coming through.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Craven, I'm not joking. The opening prison escape, I was like, oh, this movie might be fun. It didn't seem great, but I was like, oh, and then it was like,
Craven is my Argyle Legos, where like you could kind of piece this together in different ways, but I like the setup more for Craven. I think Craven is finally an interesting enough character because Sony loves doing, or they're not doing them anymore. I guess they stopped making slop garbage for me. But they're like, we're gonna be making movies about Spider-Man characters without Spider-Man. Venom works. I think Venom works.
I haven't seen them, but I've heard they're good.
Yeah, Venom works. Venom had a trilogy of movies. I legitimately think like Morbius and Madam Web, those are not strong enough characters. And they had other characters lined up, other real characters that had solo comic runs and stuff, but they decided to make crap first, but Craven was finally one where I'm like, yes, I can see a trilogy of Craven movies. Because Spider-Man has so many villains that are based on animals. If you told me the dude that hunts animals and hunts people as animals started fighting people like Scorpion or something, yeah, absolutely.
I just like, I think the entire inclusion of the Rhino is reshoots.
I believe that.
Because he's not really like, every time he pops in the movie, it's like, oh yeah.
In his silly little backpack, his little Mormon outfit.
I thought the foreigner guy, like I think they call him the foreigner.
Yeah, it's a real character.
Legitimately thought that was kind of a fun character in the movie.
Mhm.
His little hypnotism thing going on, and it just leads to a fist fight where he dies, and I'm like, oh, okay.
Leads to a fist fight where he gets shot by the love interest who's like a doctor.
I don't know if she's a good actor in other stuff. This is the worst. Every line is so terrible.
Yeah.
Her existence in the movie is pointless.
I feel like they're just trying to check boxes.
Oh.
Because like Russell Crowe was very clearly meant to be the dad is supposed to be the antagonist of the movie. But apparently he's not in it enough, not strong enough, so they put the Rhino in. Yeah.
What does the Rhino do? It makes a weird noise. But again,
fucking love it.
it's hilarious. So Elevation, you suck.
Elevation sucks, and I'm really upset though that we're not gonna get. Legitimately, I'm upset we're not gonna get a Craven 2 because they were setting up his brother, who's also a Spider-Man villain, the Chameleon.
Who did not look good.
No.
That deep fake Aaron Taylor Johnson face on the small frame.
Yeah.
Then the white weird face for like comic fans.
Yeah, I was about to say, I was like, well, that's how he looks in the comics.
But it's like, there's a way to do that face, I think, but not like this.
I think that they were trying to make it look like Mercury, like he's able to like.
Oh.
It's hard to tell because it was at night, but I think it was more supposed to be a shiny silver finish than white. But
It just didn't look good.
No.
And it was also, again, clearly like a, well, put it in.
Somebody will like this. It was me.
Yeah.
This movie was for me, and then they decided to stop making slop garbage for me. Sony, I will watch them. If you make them, I will come.
Bracket C.
You want to start on this side?
Yeah.
We have ISS and Night Swim. 2 movies from very early in the year. So early, in fact, I think ISS was technically like small release in 2023, but we saw it in theaters in 2024.
Yeah.
I think these are the 2 first movies I saw in theaters in 2024.
I think you're right. Night Swim was definitely the first. No, that's not true.
Night Swim was the first one I saw in theaters. We saw that as like a group.
Yeah.
And then you and I decided to see ISS.
Was that our first episode?
Yeah. ISS and Ad Astra. That was episode 1, baby.
Let me go, son.
Let me go, son.
Oh, which is worse?
ISS.
Yeah. Night Swim had us dying in the theater.
Night Swim was fun. I don't know if it didn't nail what it was going for, but I would watch Night Swim again. I would not watch. The one thing ISS gave me is it showed me a new fidget toy to buy, and I did.
There you go. ISS. Can I remember it? No. Can I remember Night Swim? No. But I laughed at it more.
Baseball Dad.
If you say so.
Baseball Dad is going to be in Thunderbolts.
Huh?
Baseball Dad is going to be in Thunderbolts.
Do you mind explaining these runes to me?
Kurt Russell's son.
Okay. Was in Night Swim?
Yeah, he was Baseball Dad. He was the
Oh, I forgot that the dad plays baseball. You're just saying words at me.
Baseball Dad. Yeah, he played for like the Rays or something. Like they actually gave him like a real
team
outfit. Yeah.
Right, and then there's a scene where he's like filming his comeback video in his backyard, and he's like, "I'd love to play," and he's like not in shape.
He's like not in shape anymore. He had like a leg injury or something, and the whole premise of the movie was like, if you sacrifice your children to the chlorine gods, we'll give you your leg back to play baseball.
Done and done. And ISS was about what if space was really boring.
Earth died, and so the Russian astronauts and the American astronauts on the International Space Station are like, what do we do? And like both nations are like, kill them.
What's next on this bracket?
Madam Web and Bonhoeffer. Or
Bonhoeffer?
Bonhoeffer.
Which was another Angel Studios film about a dude in World War II Germany who opposed Hitler.
I gotta give it to Angel Studios. I would watch Bonhoeffer before I watch Madam Web again.
Madam Web, Bonhoeffer, at least when I was watching it, I was like, oh, this is kind of interesting. I'm going to look up this character in real life.
Yeah, and we agreed that it had, like, given the stuff that Angel Studios normally funds, there was a much more kind of nuanced crux at the center of it where he's like, I'm religious, but like religion shouldn't be these things.
Which I've looked into more, and apparently evangelicals don't consider themselves an organized religion, so that was probably how they viewed it. But I don't think the audience takes that, and so Bonhoeffer, a bad movie. It is a bad movie.
Yeah. The cuts are weird with the flashbacks, flash forwards, and after a while
forever.
Yeah.
It's Angel Studios, so it's just religious proselytization. But Madam Web's fucking miserable.
Madam Web takes forever in a way that shouldn't have happened. Because if you told me that the movie about organized religion and Adolf Hitler's fight against it was going to be a slow burn, I would believe you. If you told me Madam Web, the movie about the Spider Woman that can see the future, recruiting 3 young Spider Women to also help her fight crime, was a slow burn, where they drop Coca-Cola on
It wasn't even about that. It's about how that's gonna happen.
yeah.
The movie ends with her saying, and then eventually I'll get 3 women.
She says, "Come to me, my X-Men."
Do you know I found out that when Madam Web came out, there had never been a Madam Web comic?
And that's going back to my point about when we were talking about Craven. This character, you brought it up when the movie came out. She is a plot device character.
Yeah.
She's not a main character to make a
I was
story.
like, who the
about.
fuck is this? It's like, oh, she's a bitch who tells the future.
She shows up to Spider-Man, to one of the Spider-Men at the beginning of the Spider-Verse shit. I'm surprised she hasn't been in the animated Spider-Verse movies.
It's like a story about Professor X's chair.
It's like a story about Cerebro.
So Madam Web wins that one easily.
Madam Web, bad.
Because Madam Web's like going into this a contender for taking the whole fucking cake. Like, let's be real.
And there's that fucking great picture of me post-Web.
Yeah.
I love that picture of me just
leaning on a wall.
Hat off.
You look like you've had a bad night drinking and you hadn't touched a drop of alcohol that
Nope.
point. Next up, on my side of bracket C, Red 1 versus Horizon Chapter 1.
Horizon and American Saga Chapter 1. Oh boy.
Red 1 you saw to catch up to this, because I saw it in theaters.
Yeah, so I saw Red 1 in January.
I was asked by a family friend, a cousin, to take them to Red 1. And I said, okay.
I don't think Red 1 is explicitly offensive with my time. Horizon, on the other hand, because at least Red 1 is trying to move places. It doesn't move anywhere interesting, but at least it's trying to move places. Horizon won't fucking go anywhere because they thought they had 3 more movies to go fucking anywhere.
You're not even wrong, which is the fucked up part. Like, Horizon is a self-funded, like, it's closest to the auteur idea, right? Like, Kevin Costner really wanted to make a movie, his dream.
But when I think of an auteur, I don't think of Kevin Costner. I think he's not a bad director.
He just had a really boring dream.
Yeah.
Red 1 is just as commercial. It's an Amazon Studios Dwayne Johnson. Like, it's just crap.
It's just crap.
Um,
Chris Evans is fun in that movie though, because he's able to play an asshole, and after a decade of Captain America,
he literally steals candy from a baby in the opening of the movie, and that's funny.
Yeah.
That's like the one laugh in the movie was seeing him just ruin everyone's day as much as possible, like the day before Christmas.
I liked Krampus in Red 1. They go to his Santa's brother's place.
Yeah.
I liked all the physical makeup on the weird,
Creatures and shit.
the creature dudes. I do also like J.K. Simmons as Santa, because he like 60, 70-year-old dude who still goes to the gym regularly, and they show Santa getting fucking shredded.
It's fucked up. It's fucked up that this is where we are. Where someone could spend $100 million on a passion project, and we're like, sorry, loser. Amazon Prime bankrolled garbage.
But at least that bankrolled garbage went to Cool Monster Effects.
So Horizon takes this one.
I'm sorry.
All right. And now the final opening round matchup.
Easy.
This is a lucky matchup, actually. This is
Holy shit!
Trap versus The Watchers.
Father v. daughter.
Right. And she's in Trap.
She's in Trap, and then directed Watchers.
If you don't know, Trap, directed by M. Night Shyamalan. The Watchers, directed by M. Night Shyamalan's daughter, who plays the pop singer in Trap.
What's her name?
Yep.
Sophia?
Mm.
I might be thinking of Sophia Coppola, a
Probably.
different Nepo baby.
But she's like got talent, right?
as a director, she started as an actress.
Well, I haven't seen anything she's been in or anything she's directed.
But you saw Watchers.
I did, and
Watchers was one I watched to catch up.
Watchers I saw in theaters, and you would not believe how angry if like Uglies, that same shit. I was like, this was for 12-year-old girls the whole time? Are you fucking kidding me? I thought this was just a dog shit horror movie, and then at the end, where she's like, "I'm the Daywalker," and I'm like, "No, you're not. He's in Deadpool Wolverine." But it's like, it's a movie about people are trapped in a forest, and that some monsters keep them in a mirror room, and then eventually you find out the monsters are fairies. But in a shocking twist that's been done 1 grillion times, fairies are evil and ugly. And then the movie ends.
Yeah.
There's one cool shot in the movie.
What is it?
When the hand, they can't go in sunlight.
Mm-hmm.
And so she's in sun, but there's like shadow, and a hand starts reaching out for her, but it's got 6 fingers and it starts burning in the sunlight.
Yeah, she comes up out of the hole.
The shapeshifters, which you don't know are fairies at that point, are trying to replicate humans but can't get it quite right, and so there'll be little inconsistencies. That would be like a great alien movie, like a 6-fingered hand or something like that. Trap
was actually a good movie.
Trap's fun. Trap is a lot of fun.
I really liked Trap. I remember going into it thinking like, oh, it's, M. Night Shyamalan movies are so hit and miss. I liked a couple of them here and there. I don't know how I'm gonna. And then, oh no, he actually cooked. Josh Hartnett cooked.
Josh Hartnett's having the time of his life. The movie is really stupid, like the plot, but it's really like, if you just accept it, where they're like, this concert is a trap for a serial killer. I'm like, sure.
Remember what I said about Joker 2 and how like Phoenix was just like strutting around the courtroom having a great time.
Oh,
he was having a great time in Trap.
Half of Trap is awesome.
Half of Trap is fucking awesome, and then it keeps going.
And anything with the girl, his daughter, can't act.
Yeah. I will say the movie went on for like, because all of the marketing was like, oh, he's trapped in this venue, this music venue, this arena. He manages to escape, and then the movie goes for like another hour.
That's the weird thing, is getting out of the arena for the last 30 minutes and his life unraveling in his house makes sense.
Yeah.
45 to 60 in the house is just a slog to get through.
Yeah. Although he does have a lot of fun little moments outside of the venue when he's evading the police. He's having fun.
Yeah.
Watchers is bad.
Everything the girl touches sucks. Watchers.
All right, that is round 1 of Crap Bracket 2024 Dunzo.
We now move to quarterfinals, starting again with Bracket A. Let's see if I can even remember what the fucking movies were.
The Crow and Jonkler 2 The Jonkening.
Huh? Joker 2
yeah,
and The Crow?
Joker 2 and The Crow.
I like The Crow. That's the thing.
I didn't.
I know, and I don't like Joker 2 at all. I think it's crap. I think it's a waste of time. I think it doesn't have a story.
I think Joker 2 is crap, garbage, shit, and doesn't have a story and all those things you say. However, hear me out. What if it's actually awesome for that?
That doesn't make any sense.
Because it makes the fans mad.
Is that the goal? Like, I don't have any love or respect for people who are like, I'm the Joker. I'm just like Joker. I'm a little like the incel gravitation towards Joker. But I don't think that was the entire fan base of Joker. I think there was also people who just really liked Taxi Driver but had never seen it.
The children yearn for Taxi Driver. The children yearn for Bickles.
Oh my God.
Travis Bickle.
Cole Trickle and Travis Bickle.
That could have been the double feature.
God damn it. A taxi driver pulls up and he looks, and next to him is a race car. God damn it.
Bickle v. Trickle?
Yeah.
All right. I will say, The Crow did have a real story. The Crow had some awesome action sequences. I felt like the love between the leads was genuine but annoying.
Mhm.
Like it was
they'd be the worst people you know in real life.
Yeah, but it felt real.
Yeah.
I'm willing to say Joker 2 is worse.
Okay.
I would probably watch Joker 2 before I rewatch The Crow, but I'm willing to admit that The Crow
Is more of a movie. Like
Yeah.
Joker 2 is just this weird exercise in wasting my fucking time.
Jonk Dose.
Okay. I've got a little E and the arrow up for elevation over here. So
I'm finding ways to make the title longer. You're finding ways to
yeah.
All right, Argyle and Homestead.
Homestead. Argyle feels like it has a soul. Homestead's trying to save mine, but through the guise of weird military intervention. Homestead sucks so bad, dude.
Homestead sucks.
For context, Homestead we didn't catch in 2024. It came out on like Christmas or something.
Yeah.
And we grabbed it like 2 days before I had to catch a flight out of state.
This was the latest entry, I think.
We saw it opening days of 2025. For the longest time, it was the only thing I had seen in theaters. I've now seen 2 things in theaters this year. I've seen Homestead, and I've seen Peter Pan's Jerk Off Whatever by the Winnie the Pooh fuckers.
The 2 movies I've seen this year are Homestead and Craven, so...
You saw Craven this year in theaters?
Yeah.
For this?
Yeah.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah, I saw it in theaters for this.
That's rough.
I've
got it worse, but that's rough.
I had a great time because I snuck in 4 bees triggers. I was alone in the back of a theater, and the manager kept walking in and like mad dogging me for like 30 seconds. He was like hands on his hips, staring up at me, just making sure I wasn't doing anything. And I was sitting there, cheeseburger open in my lap, just staring at him.
Like if you were alone at Baby Girl, it would make sense, but you're not jerking your shit at fucking Craven.
Well, I don't know. Aaron Taylor Johnson, I mean...
He's not nearly naked enough.
No.
He's got a weird will they, won't they with his brother in that movie. Am I wrong?
All right,
They're palling around in a hotel bed.
All right, so...
Maybe I'm just thinking of it because his brother's in Gladiator 2, and he was fucking his brother in that one, too.
Gladiator 2 was awesome. Gladiator 2 was one of the best movies of last year.
I don't think so. It doesn't hold up on rewatch.
No?
There's a lot of downtime.
I only saw it once, so it's still riding high for me. Borderlands Boy World.
Borderlands versus Boy Kills World. Which one is a better Borderlands movie? This is bracket B now. We finished quarterfinals in bracket C. Or bracket A. Borderlands or Boy Kills World? Here's the thing. Boy Kills World is really stupid, and the end result of trying to absolve these characters that just kill civilians the entire movie is really stupid.
It did have Chappie in it though.
It has Chappie. Hey Chappie. It has Evil Snake Eyes is in it and is a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Borderlands is just misery.
Yeah, no, I did not.
Why the fuck didn't Borderlands have the intros like it did in the game?
Where like it would freeze frame on a character when they're introduced?
Because it sets it up for it. I'm thinking of when the big guy, Krieg, gets out of the truck.
Yeah.
He like opens it and he freezes for a second. And like, why don't you just... And then... Because it would fit. It would add a little bit of sauce to that fucking pile of shit.
Why did Tiny Tina have the characterization worse than in the game somehow, but also have the arc of Angel, but her dad, which definitely could have just been Handsome Jack, was a guy we never fucking heard of.
Who had that voice? He sounded like Kraven the Hunter.
He definitely had an accent.
Yeah. So which is worse? Borderlands is worse, right?
Borderlands is worse.
You hate Boy Kills... I got a marker.
I hate Boy Kills World, but Borderlands is worse.
I feel like I laughed once or twice during Boy Kills World. I liked Evil Snake Eyes.
Well, Boy Kills World, I just remember had a very specific... There was a scene where... There's a couple fight scenes. I think I brought it up in the episode for Boy Kills World. There's a couple fight scenes that feel like little like Borderlands arenas. Like, oh, you're going to do a boss fight in this room. Like there's the fake pirate set
Right. Yes, that did feel very Borderlands.
The fake pirate set felt like a Borderlands fight. The warehouse where he first meets his buddy.
Boy Kills World definitely has less style than Megalopolis, but it has more style than Borderlands.
Yeah, it's Megaboropolis.
So, second half of Bracket B now in our quarterfinals.
Uggo.
Uggo versus E-Up. Uglies versus Elevation.
Oh, God.
Easy for me, dude.
Uglies?
Uglies sucks.
Uglies.
I hate Uglies.
Uglies is fucking miserable.
Uglies is misery.
It's moving on.
Manifest.
It's moving on.
I don't like. That's the problem with Uglies and Elevation. Nothing happens in either of them enough for me to even have shit to say about them.
Well, this is why I wanted you to watch Uglies, because like I didn't want to just be pissed and miserable. Like we talked about maybe having an honorable mentions thing of like, oh, here's some crap movies we saw that didn't make the cut.
Oh yeah,
because like there's probably some horror.
Baby Girl.
Was that 2024?
Yeah.
Okay.
It's not actually crap. It's okay.
Hellboy, The Crooked Man also isn't crap, but also probably could have made it on this bracket.
Oh boy. No, Uglies is just like I was watching it and I was like, oh, this is the worst kind of bad though, where I don't have anything to say. I don't have a single opinion other than shut up.
Because the movie doesn't have anything to say, dude.
Yeah.
All right.
That's bracket B in the books. We'll circle back. Hit me with that bracket C.
ISS and Madam Web.
Madam Web.
Madam Web.
ISS is nothing, but Madam Web is nothing, and I was miserable.
Damn it.
Okay. And over here, we got Horizon versus The Watchers. This is the hard one.
Both are so long and fucking tedious. On the bright side, the director didn't show up in Watchers.
But if she, yeah, I think Watchers is worse.
Yeah. I have a poster for Horizon.
Because nothing happens in either of them again. But this is like watching a lot of money burn. This is like, bro, come on. It's fairies.
Horizon had about 2 good shootout scenes where the tension wasn't really, the tension never climaxed, but like at least stuff was fucking happening. People were firing guns.
Stuff was happening.
But again, like 2 scenes where something happens in a 3-hour long movie.
So Watchers?
Watchers. Ah, fuck.
Watchers
and Madamit. All right. That's for later. All right,
and that concludes the
quarterfinals.
Coffee. Oh, I spilled it all over the computer.
You want to take a second and clean that up?
Yup.
Okay. In that case, I'm going to drink from Monkey Mug.
I've returned. A changed man.
Semifinals for Bracket A. Jonk Dose Homo.
What?
Joker 2 or Homestead.
Oh, Lord. Now we're getting down into it.
Homestead's worse for me.
Homestead was really long and has voiceover and just decides to end.
And when I figured out which character was doing the voiceover in Homestead, I'm like, why?
The woman with this extra friend on her face. It's really distracting. She's not ugly or anything. She just has a mole. But it's the star of the fucking show, dude. It's catching light. It's bending it.
Joker
it's
2
got its
had
own zip code.
Joker 2 had fun music and actually got a stupid laugh out of me.
What was that? When he gets raped?
No. there was a moment he's fantasizing about the life he and Harley will have outside of prison, which I do think the characterization of Harley Quinn is really interesting in that movie.
Interesting in what way? You're like, oh, that's what you went for?
Well,
I would have made a character.
Because she's a psych major, and then the therapist is like, oh, she's playing you. She checked herself in. And so there's an interesting kind of duality between these two.
That's the one thing I liked about Joker 2, yeah. When they're like, oh, rich people just cosplay as poor mentally ill people because that's what's really enjoyable to them, but they're actually worthless and they will betray you at the last moment and they want you to make your life worse.
Yeah.
And I was like, oh, okay. Homestead was like, rich people have enough guns to protect you from the government.
Yeah.
Homestead.
But yeah, the thing that made me laugh in Joker 2, him fantasizing about the life that he and Harley are gonna have.
Mm-hmm.
And in his dream, she pulls a gun on him because doesn't know. And he like puts his in. Does this mean the honeymoon's over? I actually fucking laughed at that.
Did you?
I did. I felt so ashamed, but
you should.
I laughed at it. Homerstead.
Well, congratulations to Homestead, a late entry into the bracket, taking A by storm, beating out Joker 2
and Argyle.
And you know what? Crow, Beekeeper, we're never going to get far anyway. They're Beekeeper definitely. And,
nah, Beekeeper fucking rips.
And I knew I'd defend Crow enough. Werewolves as well. Kind of a...
I'm surprised Deadpool didn't move on at all.
If it was against something weaker, or if Deadpool was against Beekeeper, it would have moved on.
Yeah, 100%. If Deadpool was up against like Beekeeper, Werewolves, or Godzilla.
Yeah, there was Deadpool got lucky.
Yeah.
Bracket B, we have got Borderlands versus Uglies, another late entry into the bracket. A lot of backloaded garbage, not release date wise, but when I saw it.
Yeah. Oh God. Because Uglies is nothing. Borderlands is insulting to me personally. I want to hear what you have to say.
A lot of craftsmen worked really hard to make those sets in Borderlands.
I will say, Borderlands was full of very passionate people who had no power because a lot of little props and little set deck things were like little nods to the game and little specific Easter eggs. Nobody in a position of power.
No one making the final call could do anything, but everyone who was like, hey, we need a gun, make it, knew how to like make a gun from the game.
The Vladoff Infinity.
Hey, we need a fucking outfit 1-to-1.
Yeah,
Kevin Hart's gonna be wearing it, but 1-to-1.
Almost 1-to-1. His sweater wasn't the right color.
What? Oh my Lord!
I said this movie insulted me personally, and I meant it.
Uglies is exactly that. It's just
this is so fucking bad.
Ugly.
Dude. Oh, I'm sorry, Joey King. I know you've been in better shit, but oh my God, Uglies is moving on.
No, Uglies is
Uglies isn't, because Borderlands is poop from a butt. Uglies is what's worse than shit from ass.
I would say this: if Borderlands is gonna beat it out, it is because they put it in theaters. They didn't just hide it in shame on a streaming service. I have a hard time letting Uglies win a bracket when all it did was release in the background. Well, Uglies is white noise.
So you think Borderlands is more egregious because it got trailers, it was touted for years, it's like, we're gonna do it.
Yeah.
Randy Pitchford's damage control, though, was the funniest part about this movie.
Yes. I saw that tweet where he says, you guys love what we're doing with the video games more than what the best Hollywood directors can make?
No, we love it more than what Eli Roth is doing.
Randy Pitchford, have you seen other movies?
Have you seen... Oh my God, speaking of Eli Roth, God, Thanksgiving was going to appear at some point this year on an episode. We kept talking about doing like other... Yeah. God, I'm so glad it didn't.
You would have hated it.
Yeah.
There would have been like not Terrifier levels of gore, but you would have had to look away, I think.
So is this Pooterlands moving on?
I think so, just because it's more in my face.
Like, which is worse? Taking a dump on somebody's bed, Amber Heard, or taking a dump on somebody's bed and then posting it on Instagram? That's what's happened here.
So I guess
you're just gonna you're not gonna yes and me on that?
I don't know what to do with that. Did Amber Heard do that as well?
Yes, that's like
I know she pooped on a bed, but did she post it on Instagram? What's the reference?
Because Borderlands made it public. Borderlands shit the bed, but they put it in
Oh,
theaters. They didn't try and hide it on streamers.
What are you voting for at this point? Borderlands or Uglies?
I'm asking you because both of them are terrible.
I'm voting Borderlands.
Sure.
Just because Uglies, there's so much crap. There is stuff equally this bad released to streamers all the time.
Yeah.
Stuff in theaters, Homestead, Borderlands.
I'm honestly surprised Homestead made it to theaters and Angels didn't. What kind of Jesus money is Angel flaunting?
Oh, they got. You talking Jesus money? Come on, dog.
Damn.
If I could get in, I would be praising the Lord like that. If I could get in at fucking Homestead.
Damn it.
Bracket C.
Watchers.
Madam Web versus Watchers. Who?
Madam Web made me cry in theaters.
Cry?
I cried.
Why did you cry?
I was bored to tears. I legitimately was bored to tears.
I didn't know that could happen.
I didn't either, and then I was crying at Madam Web, and I was like, "Oh, this is the low bar of my life, huh?"
Madam Web is an easy one to say is the worst, but that's because it is.
I don't know. There's a couple other.
Well, I meant like here, lots of people are going to bring up Madam Web as the worst of the year, and I understand why.
But like, I hate Watchers too.
Here's the thing. At no point in Madam Web was I like, let me give this a shot. There's like 20 minutes in Watchers where I was like, let's see where this goes.
Okay. I guess Watchers at least has an interesting concept that it fumbles, and Madam Web is just shit.
I'm just waiting. I'm just waiting in Madam Web.
I'm waiting for them to say that her partner Ben is fucking Ben Parker. And
So we have reached our final round. Homestead wins Block A. Borderlands wins Block B. Madam Web wins Block C.
Oh my god.
Before we decide a winner, is there anything that could have snuck through if the block had been different? Like we talked about stuff over there getting further.
Deadpool could have. I definitely think ISS, but ISS, I don't know if it's recency bias for some of these other ones, but like, which is more insulting? Like being I think this down, like the first round here is proof that boring is worse than like being bad, because Night Swim was bad but we had fun with it.
Yeah.
So like being boring is worse than being bad. Uglies sneaking through for so long. Uglies and Elevation we both picked because they were more boring than the alternative.
Yeah. And Horizon beating out Red 1 and losing to Watchers. I think there's a world where Horizon goes through further. Like Horizon Uglies, Horizon probably makes it through. If those are in the same bracket.
Yeah.
Because it's just so long.
I don't think there's things that I genuinely... So some of these we said were on here because the consensus of people is that they weren't very good. There's no way Beekeeper.
Beekeeper was a first round exit no matter what. I don't know what would be like...
Megalopolis is another one where like we just had so much fun with it.
Yeah.
We get it when people like hound these movies, but like
Beekeeper would have to go against Megalopolis for one of those to make round 2.
Yeah.
And it would be Megalopolis. Or Godzilla Kong against Beekeeper would have been a tough one. Because I have fun with them in the same way.
I see a world where Bonhoeffer actually could sneak through, but it went up against fucking Madam Web.
Like if Uglies was against Madam Web, Uglies is a first round exit.
Yeah.
Interesting little bracket here. But now we get to our finals. A 3-way between Homestead, Borderlands, and Madam Web. What is the worst thing you've seen this year in a 2024 release?
I think my vote personally, worst thing that I've seen, just in terms of, and if we're not going in with expectation, like Borderlands, because I had didn't have high expectations, but I wanted to enjoy it just for the sake of enjoying a Borderlands movie. Again, a franchise I really like, franchise I love, dare say, or like Madam Web, because Madam Web, based on comics, I love comics. without the expectation, pure end product. I'm not ready to call a final yet, but I don't think Borderlands is the worst. I'm willing to take Borderlands out and just looking at these two.
I think you're right. I think it's between those two. That's the thing. This sucks.
Borderlands.
Make no mistake.
Borderlands there's a reason Borderlands beat out all of these other movies.
There's a reason Borderlands won the block.
Yeah.
But it's definitely gonna bronze medal here because there's just enough color on the screen.
Just enough noise and images, jingling keys.
Yeah. Clapping my hands like a seal. It's terrible. Just miserable. The first time I saw this, someone fell asleep in the theater.
Was it you?
No.
You woke up. Oh, no. Oh, yeah, no.
I got close, though.
God, oh, God.
But I do think Borderlands is going to have to take number 3. And it is more a head-to-head between those two.
The thing is, I don't want it just to come down to recency bias of Homestead, but I also don't want to give it to Madam Web just because, everybody's saying that it's the worst, but it might be.
It is.
It is.
It is a movie of the bad guy's entire voices dubbed over.
Again, with some kind of accent. They stole my spider.
It is a movie about a story that's going to happen, not a movie with a story. So is Homestead, though.
Yeah.
And so it is like recency bias and also like worst of the year. But Madam Web is really, really shit.
Here's the thing.
Yeah.
I would sooner watch Madam Web again than I would watch Homestead. If you put a gun to my head and say I have to choose one of those to watch again, I am not watching Homestead again. Homestead insult, and I get that that's what Angel Studio does, is insult good people, but Homestead, like the setup and premise of the movie, is purposefully meant to be insulting to a certain audience. Madam Web, I just think is an insult to the film goer, not to any particular audience member.
I can't argue with that. I think you've got an excellent point there. Because I'm like, I have to rewatch one of the two. Which am I rewatching?
Gun to the head.
It's Madam Web.
It's Madam Web.
Because it's funnier.
They stole my spider.
Spider.
Why is he shoeless?
I don't know. I don't know. Because his spider suit has feet. It's not like some sort of tactile thing where
It's the same with Night Swim, though. Like, it was fun.
It's fun. And it was miserable in the theater. We were laughing, but we weren't for a long period of time.
We were laughing, but also checking our watches.
You were talking with someone loudly. No one told you to shut up. There was like 12 other people in the theater, too. It was a pretty packed, quote unquote, for what a Madam Web showing would be whenever the fuck we saw it.
Was that the most people that were... Okay, let's think back to all of our theater experiences for all these that we saw in
before we pick a final winner.
Yeah, how packed was the theater? Because I saw some of these alone in theater.
Yeah, Crow, both times I saw it was pretty empty. The first time with my brother was a little more by my memory. Beekeeper was, I don't remember, but I don't think it was empty.
Was there anybody...
Werewolves was a decent house.
Yeah, there was like 6, 7 other people.
For a middle of the Tuesday night or whatever the fuck we saw that on a whim.
But they were all like the kind of audience that you would expect to also be at Homestead.
There was a lot of like the older matinee crowd, but for like a night showing. Joker 2 I didn't see in theaters.
Deadpool 2
was packed.
Yeah, Deadpool 2 was packed. It wasn't the most packed I'd seen a theater this year, but...
No, Deadpool 2, I left before the end credits sequence, I remember. And a dude turns around and goes, "You're going to miss the end credits." And I went, "Oh, I'll live."
God forbid I miss nothing, teasing nothing.
It's just... Argyle was empty.
One of the most packed theater that I saw this year it's not on this list. Sonic 3.
But you went to an event.
I went to a fan event.
That's not like a random showing or
packed. ISS also had a decent number of people, I remember.
Yes, it did.
Yeah.
What else? What is down? Godzilla Kong was empty.
Night Swim
Was Decent House too.
Yeah,
It's that same theater. It's that little small one.
the local one.
Madam Web was okay.
Bonhoeffer also had a handful of like older people.
Yeah, and then one young couple. I was like, what the fuck are you doing here? I mean, what are we doing here? Tarot was low. Borderlands was low. Boy Kills World was empty for you.
Empty for me.
Low for me. Megalopolis.
Yeah.
You and I. Our private screening.
Best theater experience of the year. But
Uglies was Alone in My Room. Terrifier 3 was a couple people.
Well, it's hard to gauge because movies that we go with groups to, I'm just remembering, well, there was a lot of people because we brought a lot of people.
Yeah, but I remember people down in the...
Elevation was Alone
empty,
in My Room.
When I went to the theater, empty. Craven
was alone for me, and I had a great time eating Bees Churgers.
I can't remember. It was recent, too, and I can't remember how many people were there.
Red One was Alone in My Office.
Red One had a lot of people.
Yeah?
Yes, and I went on like a Wednesday, middle of the day type situation in like soon after release in the Christmas season.
Was it like mid to late December?
It was like end of November.
Because I'm thinking...
It was Christmas season, like Christmas matinee goers.
Well, I'm thinking of like winter break for kids who are in school.
I think that too, because there was a lot of grandparents with kids and stuff.
Okay. Horizon.
We saw on fucking streaming. I didn't go to see that shit. Trap had a decent crowd. Watchers, I don't remember.
Trap, I watched when it hit streaming, and like that was one where my partner and I were like, "Damn!" Like we actually really wanted to see in theaters, and we just missed it. I didn't have that Regal Unlimited at the time.
It's too good. You can see anything. You can see Red One and feel fine.
I saw Red One and felt fine.
Weren't you like cleaning your house when you watched it?
No, I was actually like sat down. Excuse me, I was actually like sat down in my office watching it on like a real TV.
Your office?
Yeah.
Let me open my business documents and put on.
That's what it is. It's the second bedroom that we put desks in.
So yeah, no, decent crowd turnout.
Yeah, weird
for
like,
garbage.
Yeah, ISS, like there's a weird couple of them where it's like, oh no, there were actually more people than there. I think Argyle I saw alone, but that was again like a Friday, like 11 a.m.
So I think we've decided. I think we know.
Worst movie
I saw. The worst 2024 release was not Madam Web.
It was, in fact,
Homestead. Just due to the fact that it does not end. It just finishes.
The movie stops.
Yeah.
And then Homestead and Horizon had a very similar thing where like after the credits it started showing a bunch of trailer stuff of like next time on our...
That was before the credits in Horizon. As it like music swells, it starts doing a trailer montage.
It's like, get ready for Horizon 2, 3, and 4. Get ready for Homestead, the TV show.
Yeah, just the worst.
Homestead, worst movie.
Thank you, Angel Studios. We'll probably see more of your shit. I just saw that they've got another one coming out.
What's it about?
Jesus, I think it was called like The Lord is King, something is King, Hail the King, but it was like kind of looked like a Joseph, like, you know, like wise men type of thing.
Like the Magi?
It was someone walking with a staff. It looked like, you know, like Joseph. Do you know Joseph? You didn't go to church as a kid.
No.
The father of Jesus.
Yeah. No, that was Jesus' God. Joseph was the dad that stepped up.
Yeah. But, so, what do you think on this? Do you think this was a success? Do you think this was fun?
I had fun, yeah.
I had fun too.
Because there was a lot of surprises, like actually talking about movies, because some of these were featured on episodes, but I don't think anything that was on an episode together was talked about, right?
Argyle and Madam Web, I think, were an episode, now that I think about it. But they were in different brackets.
Yeah, they were in different brackets. I think it was like Boy Kills World... No, Boy War.
Yeah, that didn't make the list. That's too fun.
Yeah, Ungentlemanly Warfare. Another movie where they should have kissed.
That could have made the list just based on like
Every time I see Henry Cavill with a handsome man in a movie, I keep thinking he should kiss men. Maybe I just want to kiss Henry Cavill. Hey, Henry, if you're watching this.
Hey, Henry, if you're nasty.
It was Borderlands and Deadpool and Wolverine were in an episode.
Not together.
No, because
Borderlands was a special. We
Borderlands
did that
was a
with
special.
J Eyes.
Yeah, with J Eyes. No, it was Deadpool and
Butch Cassidy.
Never mind.
No, but this was an enjoyable little thing. Maybe we'll bring this back for not just an end of year thing. Maybe we'll find other brackets to put shit together because it's fun to compare.
So there's an episode idea that we're cooking up for season 2. Tom v. Tom. So we could do like a bunch of little things.
A Tom bracket?
A Tom bracket.
Where every round is...
We could switch it up though, because the episodes themselves are gonna be, which Tom movie did you like more? But we could take Tom movies that don't see each other and throw them up.
That's smart. All right. You may see this bracket again.
But
not this bracket.
But it won't be called crap. It'll be called something else.
Probably Tom bracket.
Thomas Bracket. We're coming for you.
Is that a president?
No, there's never been a president named Thomas or Bracket.
Thomas Bracket. No, he would be like a British officer, like a traitor.
Lieutenant Thomas Bracket.
Yeah. He's like, stop them.
He could have been in like Pirates of the Caribbean, one of those doofs in like the powdered wigs trying to hunt the cool pirates.
Yeah. They should make more pirate movies. They're making a lot of cowboy movies right now. Cowboy shows.
I'm not mad about cowboy stuff, but I think pirates are just cooler.
I could go either way. We need more pirate movies though.
Bisexual cowboy pirate, I could go either way.
Go either way, enjoying things.
Yeah.
Ambivalence doesn't mean sexuality. Do you like red or blue? I like them both. Oh, okay. You're fucking gay? My bad.
Bisexual lighting. Homosted 1.
What are you talking about?
Let us know what you think of this. Because what if people don't like it? Are we still going to do it anyway?
Absolutely.
Hell yeah.
If I like it, it stays. Cut the feed.